Welcome to The Watching Dead, the officially unofficial podcast for The Walking Dead on AMC. I'm Jim.
And I'm Aaron.
And this week we're covering Season 3, Episode 3, entitled Walk With Me. It's the introduction of the governor.
The governor.
Yeah.
The
I always want to say it
governor.
with some sort of British accent.
Right.
Even though it's just said with a Southern accent. Southern American accent.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. Well, we have no news this week, so let's get right into the recap.
Or comic timing.
Yes. So we start off with a interesting intro, the helicopter crash. Got three dudes riding along in a helicopter, and it goes out. No reason for it.
Adam M. from Facebook said they're doing all right until the smoke monster from Lost attacked the helicopter.
Yeah. Then they totally go down into the trees. They're, well, we see Andrea and Michonne spotted them and head over in that direction.
Right.
It was pretty cool. I like the shot of the helicopter going down.
It was good. And at first I'm like, so they got a Huey, which is an obsolete model of helicopter. And I'm like, maybe they're too cheap to rent a Black Hawk. But then they crashed it. I don't know if they actually crashed it.
Nah, that had to be CG.
Or it reminded me of the... in the days of Airwolf, where they'd always have Airwolf going against these ridiculous civilian helicopters.
Like and news choppers.
Yeah, with like a stupid PVC missile pod strapped to it. But then, like, every time, inevitably, when they blow up, it either cut to an obvious model, or they would be going, and they'd go down behind a hill.
Yeah,
and then explode. Because it turns out, super expensive to wreck helicopters.
Definitely. Yeah, it's a hell of a lot more expensive than a CG shot, I would think. So, my guess is CG. That's where my money is.
Yeah.
We get the first commercial, or I'm sorry, not the commercial, the intro.
Can I just say, super smart on Michonne's part, having her zombies be her pack mules.
Oh, yeah, strapping backpacks to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really smart idea.
Definitely. They're supposed to be pretty strong. So,
well, yeah, and clearly, I mean, I don't know how stumbly that would make them, but I mean, it looked like they were pretty sure-footed. So
it also might make them less likely to try to attack her.
Zombies would make the ultimate, like Sherpas.
Yeah,
you just take off their jaw and arms. They'd freeze to death. That's the only thing. They'd freeze to undeath.
Yeah, re-death.
So maybe you could I don't know, shove a whole bunch of hand warmers down their pants and under the shirts and keep them going. But they wouldn't need oxygen, that's for sure.
Get on that and let us know how it goes next week.
I'll do it.
All right. So we come back from the intro, and Andrew and Michonne are over checking out the helicopter when all of a sudden the governor and his crew show up. And they're recovering what they can from it. One of the guys they recover who's still alive, he calls him a breather. So if they're not a walker, they're a breather.
Apparently. Or biter.
Oh, yeah. If they're not a biter, they're a breather. That's what these guys call them. And then Merle finds Andrea and Michonne hidden out there. We can talk about this scene.
Carefully ensconced behind their single fern.
Yeah, it's like they were holding up a leaf and expecting that to hide them.
It was really ridiculous.
It reminds me of like a cartoon where they just like put a leaf in their hat or something, and then walk around with it thinking they're camouflaged.
Yeah, or I don't know, man. This show doesn't seem to give a lot of thought to how it frames these things. Yeah. Like, we'll just have it's like we'll have a herd of walkers stumble across a highway, and nobody knows until they're right up on them. And they also, this is one of the things that drives me crazy about the show is they have the zombie stumble right past Andrea and Michonne as they're crouching down there.
Yeah.
Crouching. I guess you could explain that because the pack mule zombies are giving them zombie cover. I don't know.
That's totally what I thought. That's kind of the idea behind her zombie friends there.
So the other thing I didn't get is that these zombies, Michonne zombies, seem like all about wanting to eat the governor's men.
Yes.
But that blows Poindexter's theory out of the water later on in the episode.
That they lose their desire to eat people if you remove their ability to.
Like, do they just get habituated to a certain number of two people? They're like, okay, well, we've tried to eat them low these many months. We're just going to give up. But new people, it might work.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get it either.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a hole in it, too.
Which is, again, why it's futile to try to discuss the science behind these zombies, because I don't think the show writers even know.
The other thing with hiding behind that measly little fern is there was a guy with a scope looking into those woods.
And they were 30 feet away at most.
And the zombies were moving. I mean,
yeah,
humans pick up really well on movement.
Hell yeah. And
that's
sound.
kind of what they... Yeah.
Like, you step on a branch from that far away, they're going to hear it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, a little kooky there. But you know what made up for it?
What's that?
The governor dropping a sweet Optimus Prime quote. Said, let's roll out.
Yeah, I'm sure. He had just watched Transformers the day before.
Yeah, he's modeling his leadership on the ultimate leader.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime from 80s cartoons.
All right. I liked to see that they had a Daryl, too, the guy with the bow.
Hell yeah. They have a T-Dog.
They have a T-Dog / Daryl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Merle re-entry here was freaking awesome.
Yeah, you like that?
I thought. Because it was borderline cheesy. Like, there's a lot of stuff in this episode that is borderline cheesy.
Yes, that's a good way to describe it.
But it paid off for me. It really did. When Merle, like, jabbed that zombie through the head with the bayonet attached to his arm, I was like, yes, that's awesome. And then when Andrea spins around and immediately faints, it works because it wasn't just her fainting from seeing Merle. She was also super sick. So it's like, did she faint because she was sick? Did she faint because she saw Merle? So it works as comedy.
I'll always believe that she fainted just at the mere suggestion that she'd have to push bodies against Merle. She's like, a hug.
Fair enough.
Good thing for Merle that was the most polite zombie in the canon we've seen so far. It's like, excuse
Tapped
me,
him on
sir.
the
Tap him on the
shoulder.
shoulder. Do you mind if I munch you terribly? Oh, no. Okay, I'll be dying then.
It was a very British zombie.
Yes, he was.
All right, let's move on. They take Andrea back to Woodbury and treat her, along with Michonne. Merle interrogates her, and she catches him up on what's happened to their group. And then we get the governor coming in, and he tells them that everyone is infected, which they didn't know before because they got split up before Rick divulged that information that he'd been holding for a season.
So wow, we've been told 4 times now about this dramatic revelation.
Just in case you forgot,
it's just as fresh.
Yeah, it hits us just as hard because the first time didn't hit us at all. And then he introduces them to Woodbury and gives them a place to stay. This is kind of a long scene. We can go into the details here. This is where I thought the Merle hand thing got kind of cheesy because they're really laying it on thick.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
show of hands.
Somebody needs to tell Merle, okay, we get it. It's a guilt trip.
Right.
Just, you don't have to show us the stump.
Right.
You don't have to make a bunch of hand puns.
Right. Could you give me a hand here?
Yeah. Show of hands. And he holds up his stump.
Oh, man.
But it was kind of funny, too. So
I guess. I just thought it's like, do you really have to show us your shitty CGI non-hand?
Did you know that there's actually a shot of him with a hand?
No.
In the episode. A bunch of people on Reddit pulled out screen captures of it.
Huh.
There's a shot with him, his real hand down in the bottom corner.
I do like the fact that they're going with the Ash route of having a ridiculously long prosthetic to hide the fact that he still does have a hand.
Yeah.
In actuality.
They didn't go full CG on that.
No.
They did a prosthetic.
They didn't go Lieutenant Dan on it.
No, not at all.
I also thought it was funny that Merle is the only person on the planet Earth that would describe Daryl as a sweet one.
Yeah. Daryl sweet. Okay. Yeah. The other interesting thing here is he doesn't make any racist comments towards Michonne at all. Like, there's no acknowledgement of what a horrible racist he is. And I'm not sure if that's the governor's influence or if that's the show not wanting to go back to that well or what.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think that clearly the governor has done something positive for...
It seems like it.
Moderated the worst of his bullshit impulses, and apparently it's a work in progress, but still.
He's certainly not a good guy at this point.
No.
But he's not the horrible racist dude that he was before.
Right.
At least we haven't seen that yet.
Right.
Now, he might be masking it in the governor's presence as well.
Right.
So in the morning, Andrea and Michonne get the tour of Woodbury, and we see that there are actually a bunch of people there. all sorts of people. Actually, it looked to me like there was an uneven ratio of women to men here. Like I noticed a lot more women than men.
A lot of or not a lot of feedback, but a pretty good feedback about that. So
okay.
I'm not going to tread on that too. Can I mention that I'm continuing to hate Chris Hardwick?
Well,
this is the second time in a row that the show has set kind of a somber mood, and he's like, Michonne just beheaded her pets.
Yeah.
You know, headless pets is the new hashtag. I mean, come on. This show is a great idea. In fact, they should hire you and me to do it.
They should.
Except for it would just involve us making Glenn Mazzara cry week after week.
Glenn, will you come back on the show this week?
Fuck no. Fuck you.
4 weeks in a row? No way.
Rips his mic off and throws it on the ground. But seriously, there's a way you can... You know, if you're going to be a studio stooge, there's a way you can do that and not be annoying and entertaining.
Well, to be fair to Chris Hardwick, I don't think he knows when that promo is going to air.
But AMC does.
AMC does. The other thing is, when he comes on, the volume is pumped because it's a commercial.
Yes.
So he's extra loud when you have these quiet, soft, somber scenes.
And he just is screaming at me.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I don't care if... You know, it's not his fault. He is basically the waiter of this establishment, and I can't not tip his management, so I'm going to not tip him.
Okay, fair enough. I think you could call up and complain to his management.
I don't know. I'm going to start sending him an email to his like unrelated projects, like The Nerdist. Like, Chris Hardwick, you suck. I hate you on The Talking Dead. You stole a podcast name, you dick.
You might be picking a fight with someone who can probably hit a little harder than
I
we
don't
can.
care. I'm not afraid of Chris Hardwick. You kidding me?
His listenership, man. They'll come after you.
David Chin didn't scare me. Neither does Chris Hardwick.
Oh, God. Okay. So it looks like they're doing a lot of gardening and stuff here. I see a lot of people moving around plants and stuff. And we get the feel that this is very much just a normal town from like before the apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like I thought I saw people rollerblading or something.
Yeah.
Someone had like a bicycle helmet on.
They're strolling down the street. They're having conversations.
You know what it reminded me of? Like when Captain Picard would beam down to so-called utopian planets and they'd do the little tour of like, everything's normal here.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy at all. And then you'd find...
And then Wesley Crusher would be put to death.
Yeah, he'd fall into a garden and they'd string up a teenager and kill him and the ominous horns would play. It's like, this is a little Stepford community for me.
Yeah, gotcha.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the governor's offer of the extra food, ammo, keys to a car, is that genuine? Or if they called that in, he'd be like, and they'd be cut?
For some reason, I feel like that part of it is genuine.
Like he would have let them take a car?
Maybe not a car.
Because
a car seems overboard.
Ammo and food is already seems reckless, but
I'm saying their weapons. Like when Michonne says, we want our weapons.
Yeah, I agree.
They'll be waiting at the gates. You can go.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think he would have let them leave with what they came in with, which was basically nothing except their weapon.
All right.
So then the rescued chopper guy tells the governor how Atlanta fell, and he convinces him to give up the location of his buddies. He's laying there on the deathbed, and he gives him a promise that he'd bring his guys back and all this stuff. Of course, we know how that turns out, but so far, so good. This guy's trusting him. And that seems to be the governor's skill, is to get people to trust him, to blatantly lie right in their faces and have them believe what he says.
Sure.
So, good skill to have in the zombie apocalypse, right?
Where do you think that... Yes, and he's a consummate politician.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Where do you think these military guys are from?
Oh, I didn't even consider it.
Because
I don't know.
How long ago do you think that outpost fell? Because to me, it seemed like just weeks away, at most.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking it happened when
been...
Atlanta fell.
Really?
Honestly, yeah.
You think this... I don't know. I just got the opinion, these guys have been on the road with a helicopter, that they don't have anyone really to service it for almost a year.
Yeah.
That's I thought it's like, maybe there's another pocket I mean, this goes, here again, I'm kind of zombie apocalypse hater in that I don't think it could possibly happen. And the way this guy described it seemed like horseshit. Like, we were sitting pretty, we had plenty of food and guns and walls, and one guy get bit, and then shit, we flung open the gates, and we banged our posts. It's like, come on, man, come on.
Well, you saw how well these guys were trained in this episode, right?
Yeah, right.
So maybe it did happen like that.
Right.
But I feel you. It might not be a year that they've been out there.
It might be funny if people are like, keep your guns trained on him. He's got a bad British accent. Never trust a Scotsman.
Yeah, we'll get to that. So then the governor goes to the lab where his scientist is working. I forget this guy's name. Do you have it?
Yeah, hold on a second.
Okay. And he gets the latest research.
No, you know what? I called him Poindexter.
That's not his real name.
I got his name. Oh, no, that's not it.
No. So he's getting the latest info on Michonne's pets. He's been doing some research on him. And Merle tells him that Andrea was with another group, which I think is actually a very important part of this episode. He explains what Michonne was doing with her pets and warns that it's not a good idea to leave Andrea with Merle. Or leave Andrea to Merle, I guess. Bad blood there.
So, yeah, obviously, these guys have been antagonizing each other for a while.
Yep. Someone said on Reddit that Merle here mentions, and I didn't pick this up, but he mentions that, the Poindexter guy mentions that Merle has been getting into his stash. Mm-hmm. So has Merle been using his drugs, and that's what he's pissed about?
He said he got into his stash?
That's what somebody on Reddit said.
I thought he said he was smoking in the lab, and that's what pissed him off.
Yeah, you're right.
So
right. The guy on Reddit's crazy then.
Or maybe he's just making a joke about he's smoking his green.
Maybe. People theorize
95% of the gardening going on is farming marijuana in Woodbury. It's why everybody's chill.
Yeah, probably. All right. Do you have anything else to say about this scene? I hope so.
The governor sticking his fingers in the zombie mouth.
Why? Unnecessary.
Just really gross, and it gave you your first inkling of him being a little unhinged.
Yeah. When are we going to talk about how this guy looks and sounds exactly like Liam Neeson?
I think now's the perfect point.
Okay, good. Because, man, this guy looks and sounds like Liam Neeson.
He really does. Like
the way he says anything, he's like, he doesn't pronounce words correctly, but he pronounces them just like Liam Neeson.
Right. Anakin. Anything.
I was waiting for him to give his midichlorian count.
Right.
Honestly.
The doctors checked your blood. Your midichlorian count is off the charts.
So I thought it was actually smart of this guy to listen to his scientific advisor. Mm-hmm. Like, he may not be the smartest guy in the village or whatever, but he is smart enough to listen to the people who are smarter.
Right.
So he's well aware that Merle is not necessarily compatible with Andrea, but he knows that to keep Merle in line, I think, he's got to show him some trust.
Yeah, and also, I thought that was honestly some strong leadership, how he put Merle in check, but didn't give the Poindexter character, he didn't let him off the hook either. Yeah. He's like, look, I expect this from Merle. He's a fucking idiot. Look at him. But you should know better to keep poking this guy. You're going to get, yeah. Exactly.
So
he had to bust out his, I have a very particular set of skill speech to keep him in check.
Yeah, he did. Oh, boy. So then we go to breakfast with the governor and Poindexter and Andrea Michonne. Michonne apparently knew her pets, is what Poindexter theorizes.
Yeah.
And the governor lays out his rosy plan for Woodbury, which we know is a crock of shit.
There's a lot of things about Poindexter here to bother me. First of all, I swear to God, when they showed him from the side view, it looked like he was wearing pajamas.
Yes.
Like he was wearing not just
a blazer
pajamas
and pajamas.
Yeah,
big, like Hugh Hefner silk style,
Mr. Ward style pajamas with like leather slippers.
Yeah,
like he should have had a pipe.
That
and also,
bastard.
I think he was looking to make time with Andrea, like playing the dating game with them. But somehow his line of questioning led him to believe that she was a lesbian.
What?
Yeah.
You may be reading too far into this scene.
No, because he said, so you've lost someone close to you. Mm-hmm. And he's like, we hate calling it because we're afraid we're afraid to call them him. And then she like looked at him. He's like, her? Oh, my mistake.
Oh,
he thought.
So he's thinking lover, not sister.
Yeah, and he's looking at Michelle and Andrea with their Thelma and Louise act, and he's putting 2 to 2 together and coming up with 5.
Yeah, he may be drawing the wrong conclusion there.
Yeah, I mean that's just the impression I got. So, what do you think about his theory about traces of the person they still are? We saw some hints of that in season 1.
We did, yeah. I think that's definitely part of this show. I think they're taking a cue from Romero, like I've said before.
I wish they'd explore that more because I find that part about zombies to be part of the, that's what is extra creepy.
Yeah, I mean, it adds a certain weight to killing them, I guess, because like Herschel was trying to claim in season 2, they're not just monsters; they're still the people that you knew and loved. So slicing their heads off, like Michonne did this episode, if that's true, is a much weightier thing.
Sure.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Michonne doesn't trust the governor as they're strolling through the streets of Woodbury. But I think Andrea's getting pretty used to the easy life here. She's like, yeah, let's take a little while and rest up. And she's agreeing with the governor.
Okay.
And yes, I'm going to continue to say governor.
The governor. I like it.
Eventually, we're going to have to get you to use your Rick accent to say governor. That's when things get dicey.
I don't think... See, here's the thing. I don't feel Rick when I say governor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's some phrases you say, like, we spilt blood, that cry out for the Rick treatment. We spilled blood. Yeah. But governor, I don't need like. I don't know how to say that like Rick.
All right,
governor.
It'll just have to come to you one episode.
Like I need to go.
We'll wait until Rick actually says governor.
I need to go back and find a clip of George W. Bush saying the word governor.
There you go.
Then I could probably nail it.
I think so. Good plan. Yeah, so that's just a small scene there, them walking and talking. Next, we go over to the camp where the helicopter came from, and all these dudes. Qui-Gon pulls up in a Nissan. Liam pulls up in a Nissan. Liam Nissan. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Seriously,
not
is
one
it
bit.
Nissan?
He pulls up in a Nissan. Yeah, no joke.
Totally.
And he tells them that they found their friend, and when he gains their trust, his sniper team kills everybody.
Yeah.
Just unloads. Let's talk about the incompetence here.
Oh, okay. First, incompetence in the National Guardsmen.
Yep.
The fact that, they didn't even get a shot off.
No, not a single shot.
It would have been, I think, I kind of feel like someone should have at least taken a bullet.
Yeah.
And the way they framed this, the governor was prancing around in the middle like William Dafoe's character from goddamn Boondock Saints.
Yeah, he was.
Like there's these guys doing these ballet of death on either side, and it was a horribly composited shot.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of ways they could have done it better without it making the military guys look like goons and the governor kind of look like an idiot. Like, hit the dirt,
agree,
man.
Totally.
Hit the dirt. There's 6 killers behind you raining down lead death.
Yeah, you might want to duck.
Yeah.
No, I had a real problem with that even on the first viewing. I was like, this is not believable.
It didn't improve on subsequent viewings, let me tell you.
No. But normally I don't catch really dumb things like that on the first viewing because I'm just not looking for them.
Right.
But man, that time I did.
But I like I said, that one shot where he's standing there walking towards the camera and there's like 3 guys doing a twisting...
Yeah,
as they're falling off, and like it's
pirouettes.
just really bad.
Yeah, and then what's his face? No shirt guy just falls over. He doesn't even get shot. He just falls down dead, heart attack.
Right.
So let's talk about why he kills these guys. Why do you think he kills them instead of integrating them into the group?
The only thing I can figure is this governor guy. It seems like. He gives these speeches about survival and all this, but what he really gets off on is power.
I agree. 100%.
And is he going to risk somebody that has rank in the U.S. Army? Because if one thing we know from watching all this, movies and Battlestar Galactica and everything is that like all military people are power mad,
of course,
gotta run things, lunatics, right? So
Definitely.
I'm sure as a power mad, gotta run things lunatic himself, he's thinking, man, if I let these guys in these walls, it's not going to be too long before they're grumbling about, we should be running this stuff. We're the military, blah, blah, blah. So I think he killed them just so he could hold on to his own power.
I agree. The expansion that he talks about, going outside the walls and liberating other cities and other people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's empire.
Yeah, that's an empire. That's not liberation. He wants to be the king of this new world.
Hell yeah.
And these military guys don't fit in with that.
Mm-hmm.
I also think, because like I said before, there were a disproportionate amount of women in that town, I also think that would have thrown off the balance that he set up there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's running a very tight ship, and those guys did not fit in.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm with you.
Right.
Definitely. So when they get back, the governor announces that they found the others, but then he lies to everyone's faces about what happened, and he blames the massacre on the zombies.
He's a consummate politician, man.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he is.
Yeah, he played it. I also like how he mentions, they didn't have our walls, our fences. Like, you're safe here because of me.
Because of me, exactly.
But out there, it's chaos.
I forgot to mention the governor's line to not Glenn.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna call the silent black dude not Tyrese. For obvious reasons, and he's not Glenn. His line, we had to rewind it and eventually turn on subtitles to figure out what he's saying, because it sounded like he said, go pull a muscle in that young man's knees.
Yeah.
He said, put a merciful end to that young man's days. That wasn't the line reading he gave. I felt like I was watching Crank there for a minute, where people are speaking all kinds of crazy languages and the subtitles were completely random. I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, that was a tough one to get.
So I thought Poindexter looked pretty uneasy in his pajamas over there, and Michonne looks, you're never going to get this. You're never going to guess. She looked pissed off.
Yep.
Beyond all rational thought.
Yeah, at some point, we noticed that Andrea and Michonne were having a face-off, right?
Yeah.
Like, they were both looking at each other with... Andrea had her normal face on, and
right.
Michonne had the front face.
Right.
And they were just looking at each other. Pretty funny. So we get that scene, and there's kind of a look there between Andrea and Michonne when he's talking about the zombies attacking them, this group. And it seemed like Andrea wasn't buying that for a second. But then she goes right into... on the governor's side mode. After that, she goes and walks and talks with him.
Well,
what do you think Andrea's doing here? Is Andrea making a play? Is she?
I think Andrea, as she's I just think Andrea's completely taken in. She thinks this guy is like Rick. He's like Rick on speed, man. He's just like Rick to the nth degree.
You think? You don't think there's any
a more successful version, a more successful, more decisive, sexier, equally muddled accent version of Rick, man?
Yeah, he'd probably kill a wolf, I'd have to guess.
Several.
Yeah.
Several.
So you don't think she's playing him at all? Trying to pump information out of him? Because I got that vibe in a couple of scenes.
Really?
Early on in their interactions, yeah.
Maybe it just speaks to because I... kind of came around very late in the season on Andrea, that because I really detested her all throughout the first part of season,
especially when she shot Daryl.
Yeah, and then she's kind of won me over towards the end, but still I'm right on the edge where I'm ready to hate on her again. And I just feel like maybe that's the baggage I'm bringing to this character, but I don't feel like Andrea is capable of that kind of subtlety. She's the guy, she's the woman who pulls guns on and holds on, guns to people's heads. Or she just doesn't have that calculating gear, I don't think. Yeah,
and I think it's more interesting to have her and Michonne torn apart by this.
Yes.
Emotionally conflicted over it.
Yes, having this ambiguity about this governor and that driving a wedge between it. Now, the only thing that's slightly a problem with it is that I don't know enough about Michonne to really care or be anything but put
Yeah.
off by how silent and pissy she is.
And let's talk about that. I mean, she's been in 2 of the last 3 episodes. She was very, very briefly in the finale of last season, but there's been no character development yet. I mean,
No.
we know, okay, she's a badass swordsman, but we don't know why.
Right.
And we also know that those pets were somehow important to her.
Right.
I'm hoping they'll develop that story further so that we do have some sort of background for her. But until they do, it's hard to feel much toward her.
Sure.
Just like the same problem we've been having with T-Dog
And that's another
the
thing.
entire time. We don't know anything about him.
We were really praising the jump ahead, but it does leave some, kind of plot hole things. For example, the fact that Andrea and her relationship is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, if you're together literally every day, you're sleeping probably in the same room. You haven't moved beyond, so where'd you get these zombies?
Yeah.
Do I know anything besides your name?
Oh.
I mean, have they told jokes? Have they?
They haven't had time to talk. They've been on the run.
Man, I don't know. That just it beggars beggars the imagination, as they say.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, it seems like they've jumped ahead in the show timeline, but not the character timeline.
Right.
These relationships haven't developed more than a week or so.
Well, they did, and I think that worked really well for Rick's group because we saw the trajectories they were on.
Yeah.
And then that just continued.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it even works for Andrea because we kind of saw her trajectory, and she's continued being that strong, badass character that we were starting to appreciate. Michonne's just a cipher,
Yeah.
and she's still a cipher. So what the hell?
I don't know. So the last scene, we get the governor in his house. He walks through his bedroom or whatever, and a girl laying there, and he looks at a picture of what I assume is his wife and his daughter.
That's the tour guide, right?
It might have been.
I thought so.
They both had black hair, if that's any indication.
No, I'm pretty sure the girl in his bed was the enthusiastic tour guide.
And then he sees the picture, and then he goes into this room. He sits down, and he pours himself a drink, pans over, and oh man, the big reveal.
Oh, yeah.
The wall of zombie heads.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's messed up.
Right out of the comics, too. That was one of the things I said last season in the spoiler segment. It's like, I wonder, how far they'll go and how messed up things will get at the Governor's.
So far, so good.
Now, why do you think he killed the pilot? Is the same reason?
I honestly don't know. I don't know what those heads mean, because I haven't read that far in the comic.
Because he had Michonne's 2 zombies in there. They conspicuously showed the pilot, so we wouldn't be left in the illusion that he left him alive. I think that the soldiers as a group would be a threat, but just one of them, you'd think he'd be... does he only accept guys into that compound if they personally owe him something?
I don't know. I really don't know.
We don't have a lot to go on the Governor either.
No, this is all... In my opinion, this episode is really just setting up the confrontation between... what I see as an inevitable confrontation between Rick and him.
Oh, yeah.
Because at some point we've got to get Andrea and Michonne back with the regular group, right?
Yes.
And in this episode, they make it very clear that he kills these groups of people who are outside of his compound. Mm-hmm. And now Merle knows that Andrea was with a group of people, which was Rick.
Right.
And they've got to be around in the area somewhere.
Yep.
And now the governor knows that.
Yep.
So he's going to be on the hunt for them, for sure.
For sure. Like you said, it is inevitable.
So this picture, he obviously had a wife and daughter at some point, or so it appears. And it doesn't seem like they're around anymore. So
no,
I don't know where that's going.
Or she's super understanding.
Yeah, she's in the other room watching the real TV.
Did you notice the hair color of his wife?
No.
Blonde.
What significance is that?
Guess who else is blonde?
Andrea? Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. And setting up a triangle between Poindexter and...
and the Governor. I think I'm pretty sure who would win that. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What do you think the Governor's hang-up about his name is?
You mean did some nickname stick, even whether you want to or
In fact,
not?
he refused and almost got, crazy when she pushed about, never say never, and he comes back like
never.
Kind of like Dr. Evil did with how about no, you freaky deaky psycho or whatever. It's like he walked all the way back, got in her face, and said never.
Yeah. I don't know what his hang up about that is.
I don't know.
I think he just desperately wants to not be called
Jenkins.
Qui-Gon. First person who calls him Qui-Gon is beheaded, goes in a tank.
All right.
Okay. That's it for the episode.
That is.
That's where we end it.
This was we really shot through the, what do you call it? The recap, because it was a very dense dialogue, but not a lot happened.
Yeah. We were introduced to some characters, and Merle came back.
Mm-hmm.
So some cool stuff happened.
Sure.
It just, not a whole lot to discuss. What did you think of the episode overall? Because we forgot to do that up front.
Give it an 8, 7.5 to 8.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm saying that the first two were the first one was a solid 9, maybe even a smidge better. The second one was about a 0 until the last 15 minutes, and it clawed its way back to 8, 8.5. This was not quite as good as those two.
Yeah.
But
all right,
still solid, and I liked. I liked finding out about Woodbury and all that stuff.
And you always have to have these setup episodes, right?
Yes.
I feel like they did a setup episode about as well as you can do it.
Oh, sure.
I was not bored during this episode at all.
Oh, no.
So for setup to do that, I feel like it succeeds. So I'm giving it at least an 8.
Yeah, Merle coming back and being part of this, it seems like it fits, but they wasted a lot of time on him, and we kind of moved past Merle, right? That it was a loose end and all that, but I feel like that could have been better put to use with Andrea and Michonne.
Well, I think the key to Merle coming back is not anything we saw this episode. It's going to be what happens when he gets back with Daryl.
Right.
That's what we really want to see. So I think it's key that we have moved past Merle, because I think Daryl's moved past Merle. And when they are rejoined, what's going to happen?
Right.
And that's going to make it interesting, in my opinion. So I'm all on board with that.
Yeah, it bugs me how almost patronizing Andrea was of Michonne, and how one-dimensional Michonne was.
Yeah.
She's literally either glowering or we want our weapons back.
Yeah.
So definitely. She's got the female version of the Batman voice.
Yep. Well, she's going to have to fight an undead beast.
My shit's always been together. Shit never got apart.
All right.
Shit's together forever.
Should we do some feedback? Because I hear we have a substantial amount.
We do. First, I've cut poor Dave Maresca's feedback 2 consecutive weeks. I'm feeling bad.
All right.
For various reasons. I want to give a shout out to his podcast. He's got his own little podcast empire, dvmpe.com.
Oh, yeah, I've checked them out.
Yeah, and if you they do some shows that are in the same kind of, they do a Fringe cast, an American Horror cast. So if you're a fan of those shows and you want to give them a look-see, please do that. dvmpe.com. Moving on to the feedback, Richard C. This is stuff from last week, as always. Richard C. says, talks about Lori, because we had some Lori defenders last week. Said, the reason for me that Lori's irredeemable is that I'm unable to separate her from the shit show that was season 2. Yeah. That season was painfully obvious. The writers had no idea what they were doing with her character. There was no logic to her. She only existed to cause conflict. And in doing so, she contradicted herself every other line. It was downright unwatchable. So he is saying that, maybe Lori this season is fine, but she's got such a huge hole because the writers used her as, almost like a hair shirt, like an irritant, just to piss off characters and get them, put at odds towards each other.
Sure. I could definitely see that, because that's exactly what she did last time.
So
to me, too. She annoyed the piss out of me.
He said his other take was he thinks that Carol is non-zombie apocalypse hot. If I were Daryl, I'd be putting my arrows in that quiver every chance I got.
Really?
Richard's not even qualifying that shit. He's like, game on.
Fair enough. To each their own.
Kevin R. said, could Rick... Oh, the only reason I read this is because I knew you'd love it.
Oh, boy.
Could Rick and Lori's relationship be saved if she gave Rick some pregger sex? And
I'm gonna love that.
Say, just buckle in.
All right.
And what if the baby is a zombie? Could it go after Rick's nightstick during the act? And what if it did?
Oh, yeah. That's what I want to see next episode.
He said, like, isn't that like there's a legitimate phobia?
Man.
That's a thing, like the vagina denta, like the fact that they got the teeth.
Yeah, have you seen the, I think the movie's called Teeth.
Yes.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that. I want no part of that.
You know what would have been perfect? The perfect episode to show that is when Jenner had that x-ray machine. Oh, my God.
God. He also said, what's the over-under on the baby having massive pecs when it's born?
I'm going to give it 50%.
Forget the pecs. What about the lobes?
Yeah, the lobes are where it's at.
It's going to look like a zombie Ferengi with giant pecs. Michelle K says, just love your podcast. Just tuned in recently. Someone who emailed you regarding Herschel/Scott Wilson getting a DUI and possibly leading to his demise on the show. We totally missed this.
We did. Mm-hmm.
But to give you some background info, Scott Wilson, the actor who plays Herschel, actually did get arrested recently for a DUI. And it seems like the email writer is speculating that his character might be killed off on the show to avoid embarrassment for AMC and the Walking Dead producers. Now, we got this email several times. Michelle K won the first in the gate sprint, so she gets read.
Yeah, and they did this with Michelle Rodriguez from Lost, apparently.
Yes.
She got the DUI there in Hawaii. And
they're like, oh, we don't need this kind of stuff. So I don't know whether this is like method acting for him or what, but
I don't know.
She says, I can't speak for either AMC or the Walking Dead's producers and what they feel about one of the characters getting arrested, but Scott Wilson's out-of-work recklessness may not play a part in a producer's decision to keep him or let him go if he plays an important part in the show. Hollywood and entertainment world can be quite forgiving of celebrities' run-ins into law. We only need to look at the comeback kids like Robert Downey Jr. to prove this.
Charlie Sheen.
Robert Duff, you can't get enough. Duff says, I just listened to the most... Oh, wait. What? I just listened to the most episode where one of you guys expressed your annoyance with angry zombies.
Most recent.
I must have deleted a word there. Indicating they should be emotionless. I don't quite agree. I'm actually a PhD student in psychology, and I've done several special lectures on the neurobiology of zombies. By special lectures, is this like at 1 o'clock in the morning to a dorm full of cats? Or, I mean, what is a special lecture in academia? I don't know.
Oh, boy.
I can't see the world's foremost scientists packing out the doors for a zombie talk.
Okay. You don't have to make fun of the guy.
I'm not making fun of him.
Man.
Cats need to be educated, too. What are you, catist, Jim? Come on.
No,
just because you're allergic to them.
Actually, yeah, I hate cats. That's going to give me some feedback. Hate.
Oh, wow. I can
next
feel
week.
Our ratings
Some
plummet.
H-mail.
Without getting too much detail, it seems like the zombie virus knocks out several parts of the brain involved in higher order thinking, coordinated movement, etc. In absence of a functioning frontal lobe, which is what makes us human, the brain is essentially driven by another structure. I think zombies are actually closer to alligators, who are driven by their amygdala.
Amygdala?
Queen Amidala?
Yeah. Well, we've already got one Star Wars guy in
Why
here.
not?
Sure.
So, Natalie Portman's driving her brain.
Yeah.
In humans, when our Natalie Portman tells us to rage, we have higher order structures that tell us to calm down and operate reasonably. So basically, I think it's very likely that mostly all zombies would be angry when we see them on screen. They roam around in herds without much stimulation, but when they see food or get stimulated by sound, their Queen Amidala throws them into a rage reaction, much like a crocodile, and they have no way to self-regulate. Do crocodiles just rage and piss and tear things up all the time?
I will believe what he's saying in this email.
Crocodiles are the most angry reptile in all of the animal kingdom.
Yeah, they should be. Look at him. I'd be pissed too. So I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. He obviously knows a hell of a lot more what he's talking about than I do. I don't think when I said that they should be silent, I was saying
not from a
scientifically.
Basis,
I'm just saying that's what I prefer.
Right.
You know, because it makes it more intense, whatever.
I also think it's just creepy to see like a blank emotionless stare as someone's tearing into your midsection.
Yeah. But I do like the explanation that he gives here.
Oh, yeah.
I read through that email. It was really solid.
See, I'll read zombie science when it's coming from a PhD psychologist.
Yes, and make fun of it and insert Star Wars jokes.
Just because I can't pronounce amygdala now. So anyway,
Yeah.
Mark P says, "Hey there, Mark from Auburn, Alabama here. Enjoy your show very much. I've heard you mention there will be 13 episodes in season 3. I could swear I read somewhere reputable that season 3 will have more episodes, either 16 or 19. You are correct, sir.
Yeah.
We are effed in the A, and it's actually 16 episodes, presumably 8 now and 8 later.
Yeah, I just assumed it was